where you're not doing all the talking and just being for the talk, because that's what did happen. I wobbled. I sort of went along and just started to talk, and not being mindful, because I was so wrapped up in what I was sharing, that I was experiencing, and that was not my place to give, because it's what other people want to take from what I want to give them, is for them to receive for themselves, and not for me to do all the talking. This is very important. So it's like a mindful thing, not to say what you say, but to know not to over say, because that's what happened. And that gives other people the opportunity.
Thank you. Is that permission to see when I see it going on too far out of what you were serving?
Yes.
Thank you. Me too, please. Likewise.
Wow, that was great.
Yeah, me likewise.
That was so good. That was like, that's given me such more clarity and understanding of coming in and, being here as a participant, as a member of a group. I love that. It gives
Our
me
secret
more
today.
I have more skills. I have I got a little tool. I got a little tool in my toolbox. And it's just so epic, because this is what that's so good. It's so good. And that's what that's what I love. Thank you so much for that. Wow.
Now, what do you celebrate? So Nikki, what do you celebrate for today? Or Craig, you did. So how about Craig?
Yeah, Craig.
Yeah, my yes and is this. We tend to think we're hearing words, and communication is about the words and about speaking and all that stuff. But it's really about the energy that's being transferred. The energy that's being encouraged within the space, right? So yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons why silence is so productive, is because you're letting the energy speak to you instead of words.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Exactly.
That's it. That's it.
So that's an awareness tip.
Yeah, that's
for me especially.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's so easy to go into the wobble, isn't it? Like, you get so quickly wrapped into that, hey, and you don't even know. And then you go, hello. And then there's somebody that just says, no, just come in alignment. Yeah. Just, and I think that's what everyone needs. And that's coaching in such a beautiful, beautiful way of just, putting everything back into where it's supposed to go. And that's the flow. And that's when it comes, like right now, I feel the flow. Immediately, I feel the flow now.
Yeah.
And I'm like I'm so in the flow, right? It's so nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so nice. And that's what I want to be. This is where I want to be. Oh my God, it's such a flow. Yeah.
You're really convinced that that's what you want, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? The true heart want has come out inside that energy.
Wow, that is. That's
you
all I've always.
With excitement. Yeah.
It's like a child, that childlike of what I've always felt. That's what I love, the skill of communication. They're not wanting to speak over and just to, not be heard in a way that you just want to be heard. It's that real, like you say, the energy, the purpose of why we're here,
And all I did was receive it and then reflect it back to you. Let you know that I had received it.
And that's the gift. That's
Well,
where
that's
the gift.
how the energy is worked with.
Wow. 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 That's it. Eh? Wow. That's good.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the gifts yet.
Wow. That's good.
Yeah. Because one just blossomed in your heart and one just blossomed in mine.
Oh, totally. Hey,
And I'm sensing one just blossomed
I
in
feel it
Jesse's
right
too.
now. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Okay.
beautiful. Very good.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's fun to watch the same shifts through multiple people.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How valuable is that?
Only when they recognize it.
Oh, wow. That's so good.
It's valuable even just watching it.
Well, I know what's going on. They don't.
Exactly.
Well, but do they or don't they?
Eventually, everyone comes through.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, everyone breaks through. I don't know how long it takes them.
Wow, this
Their
is so
choice.
insightful.
Their choice.
It's their choice.
And whether they'll let it go or not.
Ooh.
That's not my choice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yesterday, it's like, oh, as part of that.
Sure.
So I honor your guys' choices. Yeah, it's like, because those are breakthroughs, and it's like we're sitting in these breakthroughs, going, wow, looking back at it. So it's like amazing.
Yeah.
So I was sitting with, I don't know, like, what was I looking at? Levels. I was looking at levels around I don't know, and what I came to is the truth of I don't know.
Mm.
The truth of I don't know is only found in the silence. The truth of I don't know is only found in the silence.
Wow.
And through the lesson, which is tension. And there you discover your valuable genius.
Yo.
4 levels. I don't know. Silence. What's the lesson? The resistance, the wobble, the tension. So we're always just trying to make it tension, because tension is how things flow. Resistance is just a version of it looking the other way.
Yo.
There's my 3-minute lesson for the day. And at that, I'd like to invite Joe into that. Brother, we've been working our ABCs today. It's like, well, ABC starts, it's just as easy as learning your ABCs. What we do here, and so it's like, if you think about how easy that was to learn your ABCs, that's what we're doing here. And so Nikki, today we were working Nikki for 15 minutes. Nikki and I worked, and it was so wonderful. Her ABCs was action, breakthrough, and creator. That was wonderful. Craig came in with, I'm alive with joy. He's being human. He's being his heart. And he's centered. So those were his ABCs for the day. And Pascal was a basic choice.
Nice.
So how's Joe's structure today? How I listened to a few minutes of the clubhouse. Minutes, like, I don't know how long I was there. I was there for a good time.
Yeah. ABC. Attitude. Brave. Creator. Authentic, brave creator. Authentic. Authentic, brave creator. That's my ABC. For now.
May I suggest a C for you?
Yeah, please.
Charismatic.
Authentic, brave, and charismatic. Oh, yeah.
Did that one land?
Yeah. That could land.
Oh my. Yeah, oh my.
So
Yeah,
there's
good
a
morning.
good morning. There's a comparison we can do here. It's like, oh, mm, I can say like the old structure, the old patterns, the old habits, like see how we're getting into the habits of here's my word, which is great. But like as soon as you start to see that, you got to be asking, well, what's next? Because what that happens is like people are picking up on it and it's working. It means people are adapting it. So as it's working, then you got to ask what's next, because you got to have something else to shoot for now that people are taking that in, right? They're getting, because they're going to get bored with it.
Mm.
And if you want to be done, then just let people get bored.
That's what you're trying to say. When they learn the ABC, then you need to teach them something. You need to give them something else, otherwise they're going to get bored.
No, if the structure is always the same.
Right.
So we come in with a word every day, and everyone, there's certain people that really hold on to the importance of that. And it's like, great, that was just a demonstration of one way that might work. And I think Craig and Nikki, you're the only testament here. Would you say we went around getting ABC differently than Joe did this morning with no judgment?
Yeah, totally.
So see what happens when things start to work, right? Our unconscious is going to hold on to it and say, I don't want to change that. So even the new stuff is going to become old stuff. That's change. So how do you so it wasn't, Joe, it was just to bring a pull apart that we did it a little different. And what we did today differently, I thought, was that we gave more of like where we were in the moment. There was two people in a conversation,
Right.
back and forth, where we're at in the moment. And at the end, we could wrap up. Oh, you know what? My ABC, see, I heard ABC inside of this. Now that just organically came out. And then now you come in and do it. And it's like, then there's only a space to pull it apart if it's valuable to do that. So
Yeah.
With that said, what's in your now?
Ooh.
How's the I don't know game?
I don't know. Not. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. I know you're practicing it though. Do you see how much
I think
quicker
with the
you're
I
getting
don't
with
know
it?
game- I think with the I don't know game, yeah, I think I think that's always like the first answer in it. I don't know.
Well, it takes you there right now.
Yeah, I've set up in this app a place where we can all talk, and it's there 24/7. We don't even have to be there. So like, obviously, once we get loads of people going in there, we got like voice chats that people can voice chat rooms that people can just go into anytime.
Hmm.
And we've
Wow.
got
Through
the
Clubhouse there? Through Clubhouse?
no, sorry, it's not Clubhouse. What's it called, Craig? What's that other one we've got?
Oh, the interactive multiplayer.
No, yeah. But what platform were we using it on? We were messaging each other and talking to each other. What was that one that Joel told us about?
Oh, Discord.
Yeah, Discord. It's on Discord. So I've sent the link into Discord. So if you create that, but ideally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that Discord inside the app. So then we're going to have that communication method inside without them having to go elsewhere. It's all going to be inside there. But like, yeah, I've created 3 voice chats, one for chatting, one for the I don't know game, and another one. But yeah, we'll be able to test it out in the future. But that's something like that can be there. Like obviously, if we got hundreds of people in there, then they'll all be just chatting and playing themselves, and we can have as many rooms as we want. That's pretty cool.
That's real cool. Great creation, man. Are you honoring it?
Hmm. 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 I don't know. I don't
Thank you.
know.
Mhm. Okay, who would you like to invite in with you? Take on the next 15 minutes. Lead. How about you lead the next 15 minutes?
Okay then. Welcome to your life. What would you love to create today? What feeling does your heart want for you today? I'd like to invite Nikki in and her big heart, and her heart to have the space to express not only what you'd love to feel, but take us into that feeling if you choose. Nikki, what does your heart choose today? I invite you into the space. And if Nikki's not able to right now, I invite Craig.
My
Thank
heart
you,
wants
Joe.
to expand. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no, I
Go
was
ahead,
just
Nikki.
saying, no, it was just something that I feel that, when I get the opportunity, it's like I really want to feel when I say express what I'm truly saying and what I'm truly wanting. Because just that answer, just that question alone, it sort of like brings me into a place where I get very, yeah, it's like an overwhelmed thing for me still. I still have to, allow myself to have that, you know. I'm still in that process because it's having to go for what I love and what I'm doing. I've always, but now I'm really targeting. It's like I'm really going ahead with it. So for me to create that is, yeah, very powerful for me. And when I do go for what I want, that I'm not concerned if I'm going to what I'm going to lose.
Thank you, Nikki. Do you feel like you can be in that feeling, Nikki? Do you think you can stay there, or is it something that pulls you away from it?
Yeah, I'm also in that space. I don't know because yeah, yeah, it's that whole, making everything right before I do something. I think when I say, just not stepping on anyone's toes, And that's something I still have resistance with. I can't have what I want, really, to be honest.
When do you remember first feeling like you were stepping on someone's toes?
When I step into what I want.
But is there a time when you first felt that?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Can you remember a situation?
Oh, yeah, very much.
What decision has that little version of you made?
Well, then it made my worth. I just wasn't worthy.
So that little version of you just doesn't feel worthy.
Yeah. Not significant. I wasn't important.
Knowing what you know now and where you are and what you've become,
Mm.
do you think you could pass on a few other options of decisions and beliefs like your little version of you could have?
Yes.
You want to give her a few different options that pop to mind, pop to heart, and say, yeah, that's one option to feel like that, but we've got all these other options too. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm exploring now.
Beautiful. So if you look at that little version of you and just imagine like just encompassing her with your big heart now, all your compassion, all your heart, all your love, and just smother her in it and just let her know there's so much more of this to come. And it's okay to feel like that, but there's other options too. There's other options that mean you don't have to dim your light and you can shine bright.
Mm-hmm.
So give her a big squeeze, yeah, big squeeze.
Yeah.
That's right. And then just put your big, beautiful heart in hers, yeah, and just send all that love, all that positivity, all that fire. Send it through her body.
Yeah.
Breathe that in. Do your double breath. And while you're in the little version of yourselves body now, is there any feelings in your body? Is there anything that you're feeling that feels, if you scan your body, is there anywhere that you're holding any tension?
No, I'm not holding any tension.
So you feel, how do you feel now as that little munchkin girl?
Optimistic.
Anything else?
Playful.
So that optimism and that playfulness, just immerse yourself in that.
And curiosity.
Curiosity,
Lots of it.
Yes, beautiful. And just
laughter.
Yeah, just roll around in that like you're in your sandpit. And you're rolling around in it, you've not got a care in the world, and you're just smothering yourself with all these beautiful emotions, yeah?
Yes.
And that's it. Just imagine yourself in that sandpit, just growing up, and you're going through all these situations with these new decisions, new beliefs, yeah?
Yes.
And now you come back to here and ask yourself, is there anything you want to let go of that's no longer serving you now? And it can be in your conscious awareness, it can be in your unconscious, but you can just ask.
Yes.
Super conscious, in the perfect way, in the perfect order, please release anything that's no longer serving me now to create the life of my dreams. Please treat in the perfect way and in the perfect order. Do a massive change history, everything included.
Wow. Yep.
Treat the belief, I believe, I can, I deserve, I will, I am. Treat all those beliefs in the perfect way and in the perfect order. Bring that curiosity and that adventure all the way through. And just look at that little girl now. She's got that one option of feeling like, yeah, she's standing on toes, but she's got other options. It's got other attitudes, other beliefs. Super conscious, please grab memories 1, 2, and 3. Send out love to Nikki. Send out love to the whole group.
Mm.
And it's an honor to buzz with you all.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, Nikki, we got sidetracked with you then. So yeah, we never got to Craig. So Craig, what you saying, my brother? So while Craig's coming now, when you think about that feeling, Nikki, of like stepping on toes, is it as sticky kind of energy, or is it as the intensity's reduced in any way?
Totally. You know, that's the thing. What I love about the resistance, where you can really see where you are numbered in 1 from 10, and this is where I can really know that it's shifted because I can feel it in my body.
Beautiful. Well done for playing the game, Nikki.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, I did. And I love that because it doesn't have to be that serious. It is a game.
That's it. That's what we're feeling. And now that's what we're feeling like. Rather than inviting people to a call or to a session, or do you want to come? Do you want to come and play a game? It's like what feels more heart aligned. I think the game works, doesn't it? Takes away that.
All right. Great. So Nikki, how did what was the last 15 minutes from your perspective, Nikki? What role did you hold?
As a client,
Thank you. Did you want to?
that's where I felt like I'm always so obligated to please, and I had to really go into my heart and say, as much as I want to participate, sometimes I have to also know when to talk and when not to talk, because I'm not obligated anymore. I'm here to be my own person and to stand in my own authority. But I also know that the place where I am here is a place where I can open up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I did.
Yes.
I thought it was
for sure.
I thought it was good. It was good. It was very good.
Yes, I did too. Thank you.
Great perspective.
Now let us back up, like you, the person right before Magnetic Mind, and this was your first session. That was your first session. What would you say? How would that feel for you?
Oh yeah, I think it would be very moving. What would it feel for me? Insightful. I think it's insightful. Because you're giving the power back to the person to go in what they're feeling and what they're choosing to feel. There's no force. There was just questions. And I like that because, and also it was gentle. It wasn't forceful in the manner of the tone, and you could hear in the voice.
Even with a lot of ego still there. Yes. Still a lot of ego, but we're working with it. It's just aware.
Mm.
I don't know if ego's the enemy.
I didn't say it was.
It kind of feels like you try
Who
to pick away
feels?
what I do, and I was kind of freestyling that like I do. But this is it. Like, do you know the way you respond? Like, is every time is like 80% pretty much like in a way in which I'm not going to be comfortable doing this. You know, that's my impression. Yeah, it's like you try to find holes in it. Like, this is what I know, this is what I do. Like, yeah, I'm flexible, I'm up for changing, and improving and being the best I can be. But that was freestyling from my heart, from I don't know. And yeah, it could have looked like it was coaching, but whatever, man, it wasn't. It was talking. It was, and it can look like coaching or whatever it looks like, but all of that doesn't matter. I mean, it's my heart, it's Nicky's heart. We play in the game, and whatever it looks like, yeah. These are just preconceptions, man. But it kind of does feel like that. I mean, even that time when I did that with the Beehive, obviously I take that on board. Yeah, you didn't know where you were going and stuff. But like, yeah, like highly put downer, very put downer. And I can take it because guess what? I've been put down throughout life. But if you're wanting this to be an open co-creative space, then like, yeah, other people are going to pick up on that and they're not going to be able to relax fully into it. So yeah, that's my 2 cents with love.
Thank you. I hear you. I hear your resistance to what I do. Yeah. What I offer, and take it if you like or not, is that there was you didn't meet her where she was, from my perspective. That's just my 2 cents. With love.
Cool, thank you. Yeah. Well, of course, like this is how we're learning, we're practicing, and there's definitely like if I was to watch back, maybe there'd be certain things I'd notice and certain things I'd be like, yeah, as if I didn't see that. But I wasn't trying to make it perfect. I was just going with what came. And yeah, if I could meet Nicky more where she's at, of course, I'm up for seeing that. I'm up for seeing how I could do that. But yeah, there was no agenda, there was no plan. It just went where it went.
Yeah.
But it's like you can feel kind of judged, do you know, in a way. And I thought that's the opposite of
Sure
what this
you
space.
can. You sure can.
And it's cool. I don't mind feeling judged. But if it's like if we're saying this is a non-judgmental co-creative space, and then when someone does something.
Anyone else want to add? I can't, I guess. So.
I hear both, but I also feel that when Joe brought it to my, brought me and called out my name, it was just an opportunity for me to respond. But it wasn't so much what he was asking; it was what I was receiving for myself. Because just asking, what do you want in the 5 packing, what do you want? What do you want to create? Is a lot of times people don't know. They just don't know. And it's for you to hold that space. I felt he held that space for me because he did just ask me out of just asking. And that's the question that I can answer or not. And I went into my heart and I said, yes, I will answer this question because I want to be here present in participating, not to hide away, because this is what I've always done. I've always been like behind the scenes, because so when he gave me that, I really felt his heart. I knew it was in the right place, and the questions that he was asking me was just very, very straightforward. It wasn't, I didn't feel like I was cornered. There was no cornered. It was just like me going into what I want to experience. And then I could really pick up the words, what I'm feeling, and what I said to him wasn't that I was thinking that in my head. I was thinking that in my heart, the curiosity, the playfulness, optimistic, all these things that I really, that's what I, I wouldn't have known if it wasn't asked. So he asked that and I gave it to him. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
And that's what gave me the release. Immediately after that, I was released because that is really what I'm choosing.
Yeah.
And then when that happened, and being in the sand pit and all that, is something that he maybe not even know, but I love playing in the sand. So it just brought everything beautiful for me in a way that I could relate that little girl, and also growing up to where I am now, that there's nothing holding me back anymore. There's no resistance to this anymore. I can move forwards, and I am going to be moving forwards. So it was just a beautiful introduction to say, see yourself now for who you are, that you can take it. And that's basically, that's what it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt it was very heart-centered.
Well, thank you, Nikki. That's where it was coming from. But yeah, obviously the head's always going to try squeeze its way in, no doubt. I'm not that unaware of it. But yeah.
So thank you, Nikki. Great. Joe, thanks for responding. I'll ask you the same question. What was your role?
My role was being in my heart and listening to my heart and being led by my heart and nothing else.
Okay. And what would you rate that as at 0 to 10, 10 being full that?
I'd say about a 7.
Okay, so what was the 3?
The doubt, the not sureness, the uneasiness.
Okay, those are the experiences. Those are your feelings. I was like thinking, like, what role?
What role? What?
What role were you holding?
I was holding my heart space.
Okay, so what role were you holding in the 3 between the, when it's not, you said 7, I'm holding 7, and then so 70% of the time you were in your heart space.
Yeah. So then I probably
30%.
will be in my head thinking like,
Okay.
In my head doubting.
So what outcome did you want with Nikki?
A sense of deep relief and peace and like seeing where that was first created, that feeling, and letting it go.
Okay. Yeah, really good. It's like, yeah, that's what we all want, right? Is let them to release that. So, resistance. No, great. So what would, if you were holding a role and you said treat many times, what role would that be? If to a client, because a client, she felt as if she was a client, Nikki, yeah. The word treat, because I heard treat, and that was the one that stood out to me quite a few, were like as red lights. What role would that be?
treat, that would be like the mole hole, just dusting it over and just cleaning it up so it's a nice flat playing field.
Well, that's a metaphor that someone would have to know.
Yeah, well, Nikki does know it. We all know it in
Oh,
here.
yeah, we do.
I'm not doing. This is it. This is it. Yeah, I'm not doing it as if Nikki. I know Nikki. We've done stuff. She's certified herself. We don't need to go through the metaphors.
How many recodes have I done on these sessions?
Well, none.
2. There's been 2 done, and
None that I've
maybe
seen.
3 now. Maybe 3 now. I haven't done them.
Right. Okay. So are we not allowed to do them?
No, I'm not putting anything around that. You can choose to do what you want. I'm
well-
like the recode to me is at the beginning level. They can go do that with Chris Duncan if they want.
Yeah. Well, if we've got the super conscious, anything that's gonna, you know, bring us to this.
Look,
Bring
this
us to-
is you and me. You know, I'm just pointing it out as an observer. You know?
Mm.
So what role are you playing then?
Guide. I'm
Okay,
guide.
and so
guide.
if you're guiding, then what would the person going with you, what would they say they experienced?
The heart.
Okay. And what word did Nikki say she experienced?
Not enthusiasm, not excitement.
Those are feelings. The role that she had, she said client.
Yeah, that's yeah. It could have felt like that,
Well, could have. She said it did.
right? Yeah, well, that's
Feedback,
because
feedback,
that's all,
feedback.
That's our reference. Like, yeah, we're used to coaching, but there's other references. Like you could ask her now, what do you feel like, Nikki? You felt more coached or guided in that little scenario?
No, I was guided.
So there we go. She wasn't coached. She was guided.
Great. Then I'm complete.
Yeah. I took on the role as a client because I'm using it because as knowing that we obviously have to educate and do the metaphor and all that, but I knew where we were and who he was talking to, and as I am not a newbie in this, so I just assumed that he didn't need to go through the intro, he didn't need to go into the basics, because I knew that he was just following through with what he was wanting to experience with me, because basically it was just a beautiful experience that he took me through and asked questions. It wasn't forceful. It was just, yeah, ABC, like what, and then what does that feel, and what would you decide now? So it's like a conversation that I felt more, and interacting, and I was very present with that. I was feeling very like at ease. So I didn't think, and I understand when you're dealing as we are with allowing people to experience what we want them to experience, but in the same time, you also, it's you also got to know the atmosphere and the environment that you're with and who you're with. Obviously, when you're having somebody that's just coming into this, you're not going to do it like that. Obviously, that's obvious.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's you're saying I'm not meeting Nikki where she's at, but that's exactly where I met her, where she's at. Yeah, I met her where she's at. And then also, yeah, and this is a good realization to have. Yeah, and it sits a lot better in my heart to not call myself a coach and to call myself a guide. Yeah, it doesn't feel as sticky. The word coach yeah, when I did you say, yeah, I'm a coach, I got clients, something didn't sit right with it. Something didn't align there. So yeah, boom. Nice one, Nick.
What role do you grant me, Joe?
I grant you whatever role you wish to play, my brother.
Thank you.
I love you, all right?
Well, good. Love you too, man.
No, I'm grateful, mate. I'm grateful, man. And wow, sometimes it feels like because I've not got my ex as much to argue with, like so sometimes like my arguments might creep up in these conversations. But I'm sorry, all right. I don't mean it to be like it's like I've not got many people to argue with these days, and it's not like
Yeah,
I'm an arguer. But the point is, I do have this energy, and it can come off in that kind of way. But I'm glad that I can like I'm learning to stick up for myself and speak my mind, speak my thoughts because I could have easily just not have, you know, and
Mhm.
I'm grateful, you know, that we can be in this space together. And I'm sorry if I come across sharp or, do you know what I
But I
mean?
think I think it's it's just, it's nothing you need to be apologetic about, you know. It's an open space where it's perceptive. It's just what's unfolding, and you can have your opinion and the other person can have their opinion. Like I said, you know, if it's going off chart and it's going way off chart, then it's the right thing to come in and say, no, you know, you're not really going in alignment of what we working here with. But this is a person, like I talk for myself. Yeah, you know,
I
we're
was
not
saying
new.
to
We're not new in the work here. We all more or less experienced in it, and I thought it was a very intimate thing, and it was just a very much of a closure, a completion. So I'm complete with that.
Thank you.
thank you, Nikki.
Can I provide just like my sense, a few advice that I would give like from the view, it would be less of your words. And when you do ask the question, let it sit.
Nice, nice.
Mm, yeah, that's
And
good.
don't like when Nikki went to talk, there was times that you would add to hers because you were feeling the energy. You were in the flow with her.
Yeah,
And remember, the key is not your words, it's their words.
yeah. No, great point, massive point. Yeah, dig it out of them. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Because and then there's no recode necessary when they do their words.
Yeah, that's right.
It is
Yeah.
using the super conscious. You're just not asking for permission because it's their word. So you don't have to
Mm,
do any of that crap.
mm.
But we didn't ask for permission, did we? With that, we kind of came
Well,
in
you
with that.
didn't. So, but you were treating from the structure of the recode. I mean, I
Okay. So how
understand
do
the
you think
full
that
structure
differs
of the
then?
recode. So I'm
How does
sorry.
that differ? How does that differ in your head? Like, how does that differ in your experience? Like, how can you help me see the difference?
So the recode is tapping into someone's super conscious. You're giving them all the information so that the ego mind will give you permission to the heart. That's what the recode does. And so when you're leading the recode, none of the people can do it on their own.
That's a point. Yeah.
You
Okay,
always
so
got to have the recode. And go ahead.
how does it work the other way then?
Structure. A creative structure. All you're doing is taking them from you have them see their problem, solve them, create them into a creative structure. So I'm not trying to make massive changes in one moment. I'm just trying to make little changes. And then they see something new and they're going to change all that.
Mm.
Yes, you do need a recode if you're not going to talk with people for 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
If you're
That's a
not
point.
going to talk, if you're not, you need a recode. If you're not going to talk with people for 7 days, if you're not going to talk with people for 7 days, then you need a recode.
I mean, it's the best thing that's there if that's what you're gonna like look for every 7 days, because the 7 day shift with it, right? Because if you do one shift with someone and then don't have another conversation with them for 7 days, the small change you have, it doesn't add up. Do you see? So you have to make
Nice.
one big impact in one moment. And that's what coaches are always trying to do. Anything we talk about coach, anything that deals with coaches, even if you're not aware of it, we're all trying to get people to do something. And they don't want to. People don't want to do it. That's where the invite comes in. And even when you guys talk invite, what people are hearing are not always the invite. They hear ego, and it's still really loud. And it's fine. It's fine where you're at. It's like, because it's the learning to be observant of it. And the way to silence the ego is to talk less, say less words, be pointed, give more space for them to contribute.
Beautiful.
I think that's good points for
Very,
all
very
of us
good.
as well, really.
I
May
agree.
I-
That's good.
May
Oh,
I
hi,
add
Annette.
something? Hello there.
Hey, Annette.
I've just been listening here for about the last, I think, half hour, so a little bit longer and all that. And if I may respectfully add to this conversation from what I have heard, because I heard part of what the process or what was going on between Nikki and Joe. So my thing is, I can see where you are coming from, and I can see where Jesse is coming from as well. So my thing is, what I'd like to kind of share is, Joe, you had mentioned that you were coming from the heart space, and the heart space is usually with emotion. And my question is, rather than from the heart space, what about coming from the state of innocence, where you're neither one or the other? You're just observing, you're just asking questions, you're letting them talk and letting them provide the words.
Oh, yes.
Because when you lead from the heart space, and this is just my own opinion here, when you lead
Yes.
from the heart space, you're leading from emotion, and you're either trying to get them to match your emotion, or you're trying to match theirs, or come to an agreeable emotion between the two of you. So as a
Oh,
guide, are
so
you
good.
trying to guide them to an emotional area, or are you going to remain in an innocent state of
Oh.
neutrality, asking questions and getting them to provide the words and see for themselves their own answer?
Boom.
As a guide, you're
Innocence.
guiding with questions based on innocence, based on information
God, I
that they
love
are
that.
providing.
Oh, that's gold.
Anyways, there's my
Oh,
2
that's
cents
good.
for the day.
I like these 2 senses.
Wow.
Wow.
I will tell you, the whole
Ching,
time
ching.
I sat back in
God,
innocence,
that's ching ching.
just listened.
Mm.
And I gave the
Oh,
information as to what I see. Now it's up to you what you choose to do with it. You can ignore it,
oh,
and
that's
that's
ching ching.
okay. That's
really
okay.
yeah, that's okay. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so spot on.
Okay.
Wow, that is so spot on.
That's what I
was-
wanted to say.
That's what you wanted to say, but you didn't.
Why didn't you go and say it then, Jess?
But you didn't.
Because
I'm not
he was
nice.
leading,
I'm not nice enough.
oh, he
Yeah,
was
you're not
leading
nice
from
enough.
he was leading from innocence, asking the questions, getting you to open up
Mm.
and provide answers for yourself, but you were circling back. So he kept just, again, he was just reading out of innocence. Okay, I'm guiding, if I'm guiding, and I'm just going to ask the questions so that you can circle around and see for yourself what's going on.
Wow, that is like, that's a learning curve there, right there.
Yeah,
Because
because
that is now really taking me even, wow, a big wow there. That's a wow factor. Thank you so much for that. Because, you know, that's the thing with me. I'm empath. So I felt and I knew and I could feel Joe's heart. So it was so easy to flow then, because I was in the flow. Because then it made me feel good to feel like that, you know, because I also know who I was dealing with. And because I'm experiencing this, I could also just go into my heart too. And I think that's what we were doing, co-orient, like it was just heart connection there. You know what I mean? And that's, it was just what it was. It wasn't anything to label, you know. But what I love about what you say about the innocence of also asking questions, like Jesse said, pause and wait and let the person just reflect. This is where everything just comes with ease and completion. That's very, very, that's what I will remember. I will remember because, yeah, I can relate to Joe because Joe and you know, the heart, and it's passionate, and I'm as passionate, you know, and that's where you also want the client to really get into that. But when you go into that innocence, there's no expectations. There's just what it is, and that's the beauty of the flow. And I think that's, yeah, that was really cool. That was really
Yeah, no,
cool. That was much appreciated. Thank you for that.
yes, I really appreciate it. That's no,
Yeah, I
you're right.
really appreciate that.
I really comprehend what you're saying as well, in the sense that you just, you know, like certain times when some people say something, it just clicks, and that instantly clicked. Like, yeah, my
That
heart
clicked.
can't.
That clicked for me immediately too. Either
That-
way, but everything. But what's beautiful is the lessons, and yeah, we're just learning and growing. You know, that's what it is. There's no real mistakes. We're here to have constructive criticism. We're here to grow. We're here to learn, and it's like I say, this is what it is, and it's, yeah, so good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's a great. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna remember that too.
I'm
Especially
gonna remember that too.
we went into Innocence with
Put that in my toolbox. I got another
we
tool.
went into Innocence literally with Nikki and Sindrel 2 days ago. So yeah, that really lines up nicely. And yeah, that place of innocence in no sense.
Yeah, right.
In that place, yeah, I like that. I like that, and I think yeah, my heart. I think yeah, that rings so true to me. Like, because when I'm saying my heart, that's it. I'm just imagining it's like, you know, blissed up all the time. But obviously, heart has emotions too. So by going to that innocence, you're still going in the same direction. It's like you're going beyond the heart. You know what I mean? Like
Wow.
through the heart, but like beyond the heart.
Genius.
Yeah.
Genius.
Beyond the
Yeah.
heart to genius. Yes.
In the heart of genius. That's right.
The genius is in the innocence.
It's in the silence
Wow. Oh,
of the heart, the silence of the heart.
silence of the heart.
Mm.
Oh,
So I
that's
honor
beautiful.
Annette. I honor Annette.
Thank you, Annette.
With that. Yeah, that was beautiful. And I honor you for, I mean, we've been on the journey a long time together.
Yes, you have.
My lenses lady, like, shit, yeah. I can't do anything like she did. What, I think 66 days today. Annette, so that's what I said.
Wow.
Okay,
Beautiful.
that's good. I'm at 225 days of lenses
I know.
and the 80th day of the rest of my life. So I'm chugging along pretty good here. Yeah. And that's it. We celebrate each day as a win. We write it in our lenses and then we can celebrate them.
So
And if
can
that's
you
the only thing you write
Well,
in your lens, that's something.
This is definitely a win year tonight. Today for me, this is a win. This is what I'll be writing in my lens today. Win.
So
what have
Jesse,
you learned from doing your lenses for 200 odd days? Like, what insights can you share with us? Because I'll be honest, like, I don't write. I've not written my lenses in ages. I've kind of just let it all slide away.
yes, and when you do that, the lenses helps you focus forward. Let's put it that way. It helps you show up, because showing up is the first step towards creating. And when you write it down, like I said, even if you put a win down, the date, put your word of the day and put your wins down for the day. That in itself is a step towards your creation. And that, just get a spiral book, just write that down, whatever format works for you. Like I've said before, I keep mine on the kitchen counter, island counter. It's a working document all day long, and I add to it. But yeah.
Nice. You go
Yeah.
back and how often do you review it?
I once in a while just scan through some pages, just going through memory lanes, like going down the like looking at a photo album. But I see the changes that have occurred because I can measure them in the sense that I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago or 1 year ago or even 6 months ago. I see the changes that have happened. And the biggest thing is relax, because it comes.
Thank
The
you.
Would you
biggest ones.
explain four for us? This is in the
Yeah.
being aspect.
Yes.
I learned this from you. So being is what I'm practicing. Would you share being from your point of view?
So 4, FOR, focus, observe, relax. That's what you do, because you focus on something and you observe what's occurring, and you observe your inner self, you observe your outer self, and then you just relax, because your focus will carry you through. Now, the other thing I do add to it is to trust yourself, trust the process. Because when you trust the 4, focus, observe, and relax, when you trust that, then you got your wins.
Yeah.
It works. It works.
It does. Don't rush it. That's why you relax. Have no expectations of a specific deadline. Because sometimes the biggest things turn
Deadline.
around the quickest, and you have no idea how fast that happens. It's totally unexpected.
And how big it is
Yeah.
So
when you stop controlling it.
Yeah. And when I say focus, I don't mean harp on it and think of it 24/7. Put it in your lens, write it, feel it, go away. And if you're out for a walk and you just happen to feel that emotion or think of that thought, that's great. Say, oh, that's wonderful. And you carry on.
nice.
Yeah.
Do you still do the core 4?
Yes. There are days I write only the core 4. And there are
And then
days.
what do you do? What's your experience like when you do the core 4?
I get into the emotions. I see how I've changed. That's what I recognize in my core 4. Health and vitality be one of them. Predominant creative force. That's where you really see the changes over a timeline. I put predominant creative force a year ago, and where was I focusing on then? And then 6 months ago, and then even say 3 months ago. And the changes that have occurred in being the predominant creative force. It's not the same. You're not doing the same thing you did a year ago. It's forever changing. But the theme of being the predominant creative force, predominant creative artistic force, predominant creative whatever force, it changes. It's, I don't want to say moving target, but it just becomes an ever growing, because you're always adding something new, because you're always focusing on something just beyond that.
Wow.
It's not a dead end road.
So do you like go into each choice for like a few minutes?
However long my body wants it. Sometimes it's only a few seconds, and it's, yep, I'm there.
Right.
And
So you
other
go there.
times, yeah, other times it's a little longer. Yeah.
And do you feel like you're like living in that space, actually?
For most of the part, yes, unless I allow myself to get triggered, and that's the wobble.
So Joe, what is it you're trying to extract?
The gold.
Great. How would you know you got the gold?
By how it makes me feel. Like, instead of getting a trigger.
So why keep digging for it then?
Trigger. It's like a good trigger. Sorry?
Why keep digging for it? I keep hearing digging, and she keeps giving you the gold.
Yeah. So we keep digging. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just a digger by nature.
Nature. Nature, I don't know. Habit, pattern, yes.
I would agree, a habit pattern.
Yep.
But I will tell you one thing. When you're trying to create something and then you have people that want to co-create with you, that is the bomb. I tell you. I don't know what to do with it right now, but I'm going to let my body figure that one out and just ride it out. Just enjoy it. That is awesome. And it's taken 225 days for somebody to speak up and say, I want to do that with you. So awesome, possum.
So, and now Joe, don't, this is for everyone.
No
This is
dig.
not at you, not at you. This is at everyone because we all do it. It was like you're diving in, getting the gold out of Annette's experiences for 200 and some days. And it's like, because we're looking at it, it's like, oh, wow, I wish I had that. I wish I had that. I wish I was there. I wish I could be like that. And it's like more and more and more keep giving it to me. And it's like, you haven't, I can say I'm on day 66 of that. What day can you say? And you keep digging. If you do day 1, then you can dig. Day 2, you can dig again. Day 3, you can dig again.
Well, how's every day not a lenses anyway?
Yes, I agree with you. I do agree. So like how you do lenses is how you define them, but you told us that you didn't,
Yeah,
that you
not
haven't.
doing it in the old
Yeah.
paperwork where what can I do?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
will I do?
So
So
all I
like,
can use is what people say. All I can use is what they say because they picked something out of nothing. And it was just that in that moment of now, oh, that's the only piece of information I have when I'm in innocence.
okay. Hmm.
So
But
just
it goes for
remember,
everywhere. It goes like people, how do you make that, like how do you do it from that much or make that much money or how do you get that? And it's like when you haven't done it, that's the truth of the moment. We have to acknowledge that. And it's a different position, then we allow ourselves a different role. Sorry, Annette, I'm complete.
no, that's okay. I was just going to say, so as we make our 4 core choices, those are our choices and we choose to select them or not. We choose to believe them or value them or not. Just like doing lenses. Whatever way you do it, you choose to do them and you choose to do them in the way that you choose to do them. That's what choosing words there, but so it's up to you. Like, do you do them just mentally? Then you're doing them. But
Yeah.
then you can decide how you're going to answer all those questions that you asked me. How do you know you got there? How do you know this? How do you know that? Well, you're going to have to figure out the answer. I said, I just look back and it's like a photo album. Right? So you choose how you decide to do them. I chose not to do the printouts that they provided. I chose to get a spiral bound book and just start writing. Create my own version of how I like to do it and feel good about it.
Thank you.
I choose to have it as a living document all day long. Those are things I choose to work on it throughout the day. Some others choose to do it at night. That's their choice.
And it's open for your family.
Yes.
Leaves it on the counter all day long.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Beautiful. Yeah, I like that. Open book, family book.
So do you see, and it is part of our culture to always ask, like, how to, tell me. And if you watch all of the shows, they're all about you tell me all how to do it, but nobody ever takes the action to do it. So we all think we're going to get some outcome by not doing it. How fucking silly is that?
Hmm.
And I tell people it all changed 66 days ago when I started doing it with other people. And people say, I can't do that. Oh, I can't open up. Oh man, I can't do that. It's like, well, yeah, that's going to be your limitation then, because there's no other way to make it work.
Yeah, so true. Wow.
Unless you never want to work with anyone, and then that will be your truth.
Hmm.
And we are all choosing not to work with one another. We're learning, we're learning how to unlearn that, but we're not there.
I've just got a weird, funny feeling in my gut.
What would that mean?
Sounds like a wobble.
Yeah, feels like a wobble.
Damn it. I don't give wobbles, do I?
What did you say then? Did you say we're struggling to work with each other?
Oh, yes. Not us, but yes, us too. So it's in a comparison always. Like it's nothing in a vacuum. It's always in a comparison. And so if we say consciousness, we know that as we awaken, we're going to learn how to really work with people in a much better capacity. That's what we're discovering here. Yeah.
That gave me a funny feeling.
May not be true for you.
Or maybe it is true.
Great. Then it might be a wobble. It's a wobble. What do you do with a wobble?
Focus, observe, and relax. And trust the process. Wow. No, I just thought I'd share that because obviously we're in this space together. So, man.
And like when you recode yourself enough, that this is kind of where you get to. If you don't put the power in the recode. Because there is a rub with the recode, unintended consequence. This removes that.
Oh, I don't know.
Mm.
Well, I'm going to say thank you very much, Jesse. I have to scatter. I'm complete.
Yeah, scatter. Leave our
And we
beehive,
will-
go to a new one.
See you later.
Thank
Bye-bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
I was on mute. I was saying thank you. She obviously was on mute.
Oh.
Me too. Yeah, I'm complete too. So thank you.
Me too. Me too. Thank you.
Me too.
All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great
Thank
day.
you. You too. Bye for now.
Okay. Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you, everybody. Love and
Thank
hugs.
you. Bye.